Hello creative friends, this is Joy. So I wanted to do a quick flip through of my Inktober drawings for this year. I ended up getting the Inktober kit, which came with this nice little journal, and I was really excited about Inktober starting and getting to work on the drawings that I wanted to do. And I bought the kit, I bought a little case to put everything in. I put my little sticker on the front of it to indicate that's my Inktober case. Did you see that? Yeah. And put all my stuff in there, and then Inktober hit and I didn't get to do the first day. I was having a procedure, and so unfortunately I did not get to do Inktober 1st. So my first drawing is actually on the 2nd, and I drew this tiger. I did this with ink and markers, and I decided to do a tiger because a tiger seems to be my spirit animal, and it just gives me, you know, a lot of strength. And so then the second day I did a wolf, and this again I did with ink and markers, and I used a white jelly roll to get some of the white in there because it was starting to get really dark, and so I need to bring some of the white back out. And so yeah, I really like the way that turned out. The next day I did this hawk, which I really liked. I'm not too keen on the way the wing turned out. I really loved the head, how that all turned out, but the wing, I kept going back and forth, and this is done again with ink, marker, and a white jelly roll. And it was just really, I finally got to a point where I'm like, well, it is what it is, and it's just gonna have to be that way. And then the elephant I also did with pen and markers, and or ink and markers, and a little bit of white on the tusks. And this was a little bit of a challenge as well. I had to work over it a couple of times before I got, you know, the depth and everything that I wanted on this, on the elephant. And so as you can see, I didn't really follow the Inktober prompts, but on this day it was husky, so I thought I could do that. I could do like a husky. So I found this drawing of a husky with this, you know, man, and I really liked it, so I decided to do my Inktober drawing using this. I'm not really good at drawing people, and you know, I'm still, you know, kind of struggle with animals, but you know, I like the way it turned out. I was happy with it. So the next day I decided that I was going to do a giraffe, and this is on the 7th. And here again I just used some markers and some ink and a little bit of white. And then I decided to do something simple. I thought, I'm like, oh, a butterfly, that will be easy. That shouldn't take too much time. Because by this time, I don't know, I just want to do something easy. Well, this actually turned out to take longer and be more complicated than all the other drawings before. I used ink, markers, and white jelly roll, but I love the way it turned out. Even though it took me forever to do this, I'm really happy with the results. So yeah, I really like that one. Love horses. So I'm like, okay, we got to do a horse. This is something that I used to draw incessantly as a child growing up. I drew nothing but horses. And so yeah, I love to draw horses. And this is done with pen, marker, and ink, marker, and then white, and a little bit of white jelly roll, and then a little bit of colored pencil, because I wanted to make sure that the pink that I got on his nose was soft, and I didn't feel like I could get that softness with, you know, a marker. So yeah, I really like the way that turned out. So then I decided that, to do something like this. Last year I did everything in pen and ink with a pen. This year I wanted to add color. And so then I thought, well, I'll do something where, it's black and white. So I did a zebra. I love doing zebras. They're so much fun to do. And I just did this with ink and a jelly roll, and I did add a little bit of colored pencil to get some gray shadings on him and some, shadowing. And then I decided to do a snowy owl, another black and white animal, and I worked over this back and forth and trying to get the patterning down, and I don't know how many times I went over this owl, but I finally got to a point where I was tired of messing with it, and I decided it's good enough. So, yep, that's my owl, and it's ink and white jelly roll and a little bit of colored pencil. And then I decided to do something simple again, a butterfly, or this. I don't know if this is considered a butterfly or a moth, but anyway, I did this little black and white butterfly and with just colored pencils, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it turned out really cute. And this is on the 12th. And then I decided to do an eagle, and I forgot I didn't sign it, but this is on the 13th. I need to sign that. And this is done with colored pencil, with ink, and with a little bit of white. And then I decided to do a whale, a couple of whales, and this is done with ink, jelly roll, and a little bit of colored pencil. And I have I ended up buying a set that had like some brush pens in gray and black, and that's what I did the whale with the black brush pen. And then I decided to do another horse, and this was on the 16th, and this is just all done with ink and ink pen, and I really like the way that turned out. I thought he turned out pretty cool. And then the next day, which was the 17th, I decided to do a cheetah with a couple of her cubs, and this is done with ink, colored pencil, and a little bit of white. The 19th, as you see, I decided to do a lion, and this is all done with colored pencil, a little bit of ink, and a little bit of white. On the 20th, I did the flamingos. As you can see, I did this with ink, some white, and watercolor. I used watercolor on the flamingos, and I was really happy with the way that turned out. And then on the 21st, I decided to do a bear. So I did this with some ink, some white, and colored pencils, and I'm really happy with the way he turned out. He's one of my favorites of all of them. The 22nd, I did these cardinals. I have a co-worker that wants me to do a drawing. I showed him some of my drawings. He wanted a drawing of a cardinal, male and female cardinal, so I did this. But he wanted it for him and his wife's anniversary. And I really like the way this turned out, but for an anniversary present, I kind of would like to do something a little bit nicer and paint it on like a canvas or something. So I, showed him what I had done, but I also told him I was going to do something nicer for him, and so I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I like the way the cardinals turned out. This is just colored pencil, some ink, and a little bit of white. And then there was a couple of days where I was, my work had a couple of things going on and with customers in the evening, and I got home late, so I missed a couple of days in between here. And so this is on the 25th, and I decided to draw a wolf, but I was not happy with the way this turned out either. I went back and forth and worked it, you know, back and forth, and it turned out way darker than I was really going for, but I kind of got to a point where, again, I'm like, well, you know, it is what it is, so I'm just gonna leave it. And it's done with colored pencil with ink and a little bit of white. And then I decided to do this one, and I had pictures, like I don't know, like you go to the zoo and you can go underneath where you can get pictures of the dolphins underwater, and I have some pictures of some dolphins underwater, and I just love the way the light and everything kind of, you know, hit on the dolphins, and so that's what I was trying to capture here. I don't know if I captured that, but it certainly was fun to do. And this one here, I just used ink, some white Jelly Roll, and I believe I did this one with marker as well. So yeah, I really like how that turned out. I mean, yeah, I'm happy with it. And then I decided to do a zebra swallowtail, and this is done with ink, a little bit of colored pencil, or marker. I believe I did marker because I did do this in marker, and some white. So that's on the 27th. And then I decided to do a couple of horses again, and this is on the 28th, and this is done with ink, colored pencil, and a little bit of white. And I was really happy with the way these turned out. The 29th, I decided to do this black swan. I did this with colored pencil, ink, and some white. And I really like, you know, the way this one turned out too. I was really happy with this one. And the 30th, this is another one of my favorites, where I decided to do a white tiger. And I did this with ink, white Jelly Roll, and just a little bit of coloring in his eyes with, I believe, some colored pencil is what I used on his eyes. And I think I used a little bit of colored pencil on some of the shadowing and shading, just to get that in there. And that was on the 30th. And then on the 31st, I decided to end it, since it was Halloween, with this black panther. I don't know, I guess it's a panther, or is it a puma? In any case, I decided to do this black cat, and I did it with colored pencil, with ink, and then some white, and that was the 31st. So that is the last Inktober drawing that I did. So that is my Inktober drawings that I did for this October. I'm really happy with, you know, most of the drawings that I did, and I want to continue to fill this journal with more drawings. I haven't done any more since then, and today I believe is the 3rd. But yeah, I want to continue to practice doing my animal drawings, and practice with different mediums, and trying to improve my drawing skills around drawing animals. So thank you for stopping by and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.